Hey everybody, we're back. Hopefully we got the problem sorted out from before, so we're going to try this again. I'm just picking up the live stream kind of back at the beginning of where we started. And we'll see what happens. Sierra Direct Victor Lima Bravo Romeo Golf Juliet Echo Lima Romeo Oscar and then Q 156 to UFFDA. And the arrival is 30 left. And the Torgy 3 UFFDA transition. Hasty for the transition. Execute. Perf init. Reserves 1.5. Cross index 13. 26.2. Let's check out the weather. Negative 51. And one limit. That's fine. Drag required after. Other waypoint, take off, flaps, 5, 148, 150, 159. Is 174. 174 set. Runway heading is going to be 103 degrees. LNAV engaged. Okay, fuel reserve crossing the cruise N1 flaps, value VREF CG and trim. Trim's going to be 442. So right about there. Parking brake is up. Okay, flight director's on. Right, flight director's on, autopilot off. IA indicated airspeed Mach V2 plus 15 to 174. LNAV is armed. Runway heading is set. Altitude set. Auto brakes RTO. Parking brake set. Com, nav, radios are set. We'll get our transponder in just a second. Go ahead and refile our flight plan. DAL 559 IFR Boeing 737-932ER medium wake L KPDX off the block, we'll say 0230 Zulu, altitude 33,000 feet, 488 KMSP, KMSN, time en route 3 hours and 4.5 hours of fuel. Route details. Air. Source Virtual Pilots Union. YouTube live stream. File. Flight plans filed. Got a PDC. And 1642. And in standby. Okay, pre-flight checklist. Oxygen tested 100%, nav transfer display normal and auto, window heat on, pressurization mode auto, flight instruments heading 103, altimeter is 2974, parking brake is set, engine start levers are cut off. Get ready for pushback and engine start. Flight deck doors, windows closed and locked. Packs off. APU start. Anti-collision light is on. Wait for the APU to kick in and then hit the APU bleed. And we're on spot. I remember right, we're on Delta. Delta 5. Okay, we are on generator power. We can go ahead and disconnect ground power at this time. Ground services. Release. Wheel chocks removed. Menu. FMC. Okay, before start checklist, flight deck door locked. Fuel. Fuel 26.2. Okay, no smoking, fasten seatbelt signs are on, windows locked, CDU pre-flight is complete, rudder and aileron trim free and 0. MCP V2 plus 15, 174, heading 103, altitude 33,000 feet. Got our V speeds 148, 150, 159. Taxiing takeoff briefing. We'll be taxiing out to 10 left for departure. In case of any issues or a engine out situation, if we're beyond V2 speed, then we will get airborne, assess the situation, come back to the field after running checks. If it occurs before rotation speed, then we will hit the brakes, slow down. We will exit off the runway, assess the situation, and either taxi back to the gate or we will get towed back. Taxi and takeoff briefing is complete. Anti-collision lights are on. APU generators on. Ground power is disconnected. APU bleed is on. Engine bleed is off. Before start checklist is complete. Eastern 7. It's like a 737-6 or a 700 there.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback. Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted. Locking gear.
So you want the nose to the right, tail to the
Release
left.
parking brakes, please. Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Ground. Introduce fuel at 20% in 1.
So before we depart, we'll be showing
Or excuse me, 20% in 2.
This information can help you if there's an emergency.
And got
So
good
it's
fuel
important to pay close
flow.
attention, even if you are a frequent flyer.
Oil
All
pressure's
carry-on
coming
items
up.
should now
Oil
be stored
temperature's
securely.
coming up.
Either in an overhead bin or under the seat in front of you. And all aisles, exits,
Good
and
start
bulkhead
on
areas should be
engine
clear.
1.
Your mobile phones and other electronic devices should be turned off. Once airborne, we'll let you know when you can use approved electronic devices. But note that some items, such as phones, may not be used in flight at any time. You'll find a list of approved electronic devices in the in-flight information section. of
And
Sky
lighting
Magazine.
engine number 2.
If you're seated at an emergency exit, please review the responsibilities for emergency exit seating
Got
on the back
rotation
of the
on the
safety information
N2.
card, which is in your seat pocket.
Are you okay sitting by the emergency exit?
If you're unable or prefer not to perform these functions, just let us know, and we'd be happy to find you another seat.
And
As we leave the
introducing
gate,
fuel.
make sure your seatbelt is fastened. To fasten, insert the metal tip into the buckle and adjust the strap so it's low and tight across your lap. To release the belt,
Good start
just
on
lift the top of
engine
the belt
2.
or press the latch to release. Please remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened
Waiting your confirmation
anytime the
for a good
seatbelt sign
engine
is
start.
on. And even if the sign is off, you should keep your seatbelt fastened in case we experience unexpected rough air. For everyone's safety, federal regulations require all passengers to comply with the posted placards and lighted signs located throughout the cabin, as well as any crew member instructions.
Turn off smoke. I'm so sorry.
Smoking is not allowed on any Delta flight, and federal law prohibits tampering with, disabling, or
And
destroying
good
the
engine
Russian
start
smoking
on
jacket.
engine 2.
There are 8 exits on this plane, 4 doors, 2 on each side, and 4 window exits over the wings. Each door has a detachable slide that can be used as a raft. All exits are clearly marked with an exit sign. However, if there is a loss of power and cabin visibility is reduced, white emergency
engine
lights near the floor will
generators
lead you to red lights to
on.
indicate an exit. Please take a moment to find the exits closest to you, and remember, they might be behind you. It's unlikely, but if cabin pressure changes,
Probe
the
heat
panels
is
above your seat will
on.
open, revealing oxygen masks. If this happens,
Anti-ice.
reach up and pull a mask toward you until the tube is fully extended. Place the mask over your nose
Engine
and mouth,
anti-ice
slip the elastic strap over
on.
your head, and adjust the mask
Packs
if
to
necessary.
auto.
Breathe normally and note that oxygen
APU
is flowing,
bleed
so
off.
don't worry if your bag doesn't inflate.
APU
Be sure
off.
to adjust your own mask before helping others.
Flight controls are
The
free and
water
clear.
evacuation
Overhead panel
is also
check.
unlikely.
Recall
But,
check.
just in case, life vests are located under your seats in the economy cabin. If you're seated in the first or business
Isolation
class cabin,
valve
life
on
vests are either
auto.
between your seats, under your seats, or in a compartment under your arm.
Engine start switches
use,
to
pull the tab
continuous.
to remove the vest from its container, and then open the pouch.
Auto brake is set to
Slip the
RTO.
vest
Flight
over
controls
your head.
checked after
Fasten
start
2
checklist
straps
is
to the front of the
complete.
vest, and then adjust the straps loosely around your waist. If your vest has only 1 strap, wrap it around your waist and attach it to the buckle in front. As you leave the plane, inflate the vest by pulling down on the red tabs at the bottom of the vest, or manually inflate it by blowing into the tubes at shoulder level. You can activate a light by pulling down on the tab in front. If your vest doesn't have a tab, the light will activate automatically in the water. If necessary, we'll
Set
distribute
flaps
infant
to
life vests or other
5.
flotation devices for children who weigh 35 pounds or less. Also, most
Verify
seat
takeoff
cushions can be used
speeds,
for flotation.
149.
Now, before we take off, be sure your seat is upright and locked, your tray table is put away, and all carry-on items are properly stowed. As we come through the cabin for our final safety checks, please let us know if you have any questions. And finally, now would be a good time for everyone to review the safety information card, which is in your seat pocket.
Thanks for your attention. Enjoy your flight.
Check some of these messages real quick. Okay, so okay. That's the thermal anti-ice. We've got that on. Okay. All right, we are ready to go. Taxi lights on. Portland ground, Delta 559 at Delta 5, taxiing to 10 left via Kilo Echo, Portland traffic. Brakes off. right, before takeoff checklist, flaps 5 and indicated, stab trim set for takeoff, MCP V2 plus 15, VNAV, LNAV, altitude set, recall, check, landing lights on. Taxi lights off, strobes on. Auto throttle is armed, transponder. Is set for TARA. And TCAS is on. Before takeoff checklist is complete. Portland traffic, Delta 559, departing runway 10 left, departure to the east. Portland traffic. All right, let's give this another try and see if we're successful. $80, check. We're back. We're trying it again. Positive rate of climb, gear coming up. Thank you, Christian. how do I get real world flights? I actually pull all the flights from the SkyTeam page, flaps 1, and I actually put them in our database on our Virtual Pilots Union. All right, flaps coming up. And then I go on to that, and then I just go from there. And thanks for joining the Discord, Christian. Not very active there right now, but hopefully as time goes and we get more subscribers that we'll have a little bit more going on with it. Christian, are you on the ground also in Portland? And if so, which one were you? Were you the Eastern or the blacked out plane? right over there by Echo on the approach end to 10 left. Okay, above 10,000 feet, landing lights coming off. Ah, sweet, man. Portland traffic, Delta 559 departing the area, heading over to Unicom 122.80. See ya. And over to Unicom. Climb out checklist, landing landing gear. Up and lights off. Landing gear lever neutral. Flaps up. Packs. Are on auto. Pressurization is checked. Anti-ice is on. Start selectors back to auto. Center fuel tank pumps are off. And taxiway turn off lights we did not turn on. Engine bleeds are on. After takeoff checklist is complete. Thanks, Nebulation. Okay, so what I think happened in the prior live stream, and this is a stupid fracking move on my part, not only once, but I screwed the pooch twice. So, I'm so used to flying non-brand name aircraft. The PMDG is the first Now, it's the second payware aircraft that I've got. I've got the Quality Wings 757. So this is the first 7.3 that I got from PMDG. So all of my aircraft that I've flown before are all POSCI. If you remember as far back as the infancy of Flight Sim 2004, POSCI was the go-to freeware aircraft to fly. And because of that, more often than not, you have to go into the aircraft configuration file and make little changes and tweaks here and there. And I've talked about it in past videos. Well, stupid ass me went and tinkered around with the configuration file for the PMDG 737-900 to add some parasitic drag. Because from what I have been reading, the 737-900 is a very slippery aircraft. It's hard to maintain speed in the descent. So I thought adding some parasitic drag would help on the descent, and I altered it in such a way that on the first live stream a few hours ago, the parasitic drag basically slowed the aircraft down so badly that it would not climb. And when I realized what I did, I went back and changed the config file back to what it was, or at least that one little segment of it. And stupid me, because I have my PMDG setup for cold and dark when I bring the aircraft up in the simulator. So I thought, oh, I'll just go to vehicle, select another vehicle, switch to a different 737, and the flight parameters would all be there. The aircraft would still be flying, and then switch back to the PMDG. So when I put the countdown banner back up and was tinkering around in the background, I went back into the PMDG 737, and it was, of course, cold and dark mode, and it dropped like a rock out of the sky because everything was shut off. So it's like, yeah, I just definitely screwed the pooch. So I had to end. So I ended, yeah, big time oof. So I just wound up ending the live stream and got very frustrated with myself. And that was a stupid rookie move on my part. And the second that I did it, I realized, oh boy, I fracked up. And just decided to end the live stream. And I just, I went to Dairy Queen with the wifey, got me a peanut butter parfait, got her a nice chocolate shake with extra chocolate, drove around in the rain, and came home and said, you know what, I think I'm going to try to do this again. So here we are. Going to try to do this again. And I know I'll probably be up until the wee hours of the night, but that's okay because I'm a night owl anyways. And I just want to prove that this airplane works good for me, and that I'm going to continue using it. And then I need to go back and change the configuration files on the other 3 737 models that I've got through PMDG. So I've got, or actually no, I got three. I got the 738 with blended winglets. Then I've got the 739 with blended, and then this one, which is the split scimitars. Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna have fun. I'm also having fun playing around with in chase plane. And just kind of seeing what it does. I'm actually playing with some of the controls right now as we speak. I'm just kind of setting up some different views. I enjoy making content for you guys when I'm not screwing it up. And you know, it's definitely been a process. I will tell you a little story real quick. I literally 2 weeks ago almost decided to stop doing YouTube because of a comment somebody left on one of the videos. And I'm not going to say what the comment was, and I won't say who made the comment, but it was not a subscriber. It was just some rando who is a real life pilot. As far as I know, looking at this person's channel, he only has his private pilots and he does some videos on that. And he came on to my channel and made a rude comment on one of the videos that was up, and I don't take criticism very well because that's just how my brain is wired, and that's a whole different ball of wax. And I blocked him, deleted the comment, and contemplated not doing YouTube anymore for the better part of 2 days. And said, nope, don't let one person ruin what you do. You know, I know I'm not. Yeah, and you're right, Nebulation, that people like that do exist, and it sucks that there's people out there who, for whatever their own personal reasons or vendettas, want to drag people down with them. And sometimes I get caught up in that. But it's all good. But it's, you know, I know that Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 is all the rage, and I'm doing air quotes and talking sarcastic when I mention that particular flight simulator. I've tried, I have it, I bought it. I tried to use it. I don't like it. It, to me, feels like a video game. Because that's kind of what the intent was for it. It's made for the fucking Xbox, folks. And as a standalone computer game. And I've watched, and don't get me wrong, there's people out there who I watch. There's a young gentleman by the name of Owls. I follow his channel. He is one of the coolest kids that you'll ever meet, and how he's tweaked out his Flight Simulator 2020 is beyond me, and I'm sure it's probably puts a lot of money into it, which is something that, I'm sorry, I don't have a lot of. It's not like I'm Bruce Wayne with a shit ton of money and I can get a supercomputer and then afford to get all these add-ons and blah, 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 blah. When I was flying on FSX, I had that thing tweaked out and it looked great. And then, unfortunately, with all of the add-ons that I had on it, it just doesn't run very well anymore because of the 32-bit limitation on VRAM. So for those people who don't know, here's a little bit of a programming and a history lesson. FSX is a 32-bit program and is VRAM limited to 2 gigabytes of VRAM. So if you fly a graphically intensive aircraft like the PMDG 737 or the 777 or a Quality Wings product like the Dreamliner or the 75s or an Avro RJ or whatever aircraft that they have, that uses a lot of VRAM. And when you also have a lot of scenery add-ons and custom airports, that also takes a lot of your VRAM. And 1,000 feet to go. Everything's perfect so far in this climb. Fantastico. So when the program is limited by its programming design to only utilize 2 gigs of VRAM, and there's absolutely no way around that, despite what you might find online from people who say, ooh, I found a way to alter the program where you can unlock more VRAM. It's all bullshit, because I've tried it and none of it works. So I invested the $59.99 into a license to get prepared version 5, and I based that on a lot of people that I talked to on the AVSIN forums, and thought that version 5 would be the best version for me, because I was able to import most of my Posky aircraft into it, even though they don't exactly look the same on the inside with their virtual cockpits, etc., etc. But because Prepared is a 64-bit program, it unlocks all of the VRAM on your video card for you to use. So you can have all the visual add-ons that you want. I've got all the Orbix stuff. I've got GSX. I'm flying a PMDG 737. And you know what my frame rates are? My frame rates are in the high 70s. And that's absolutely perfect. And I know it's not super, you know, I don't know if you want to call it realistic or looks like the real thing, I mean, I look at it, this looks pretty damn good. I mean, this is you know, I've gone and I'm finally in a better situation where financially I can splurge. So I got the PMDG 737. I'll probably pick up the 777 before too long. I got the Orbix stuff, so the ground, you know, the ground textures, mountains, all that stuff looks really good. I have Active Sky for prepared version 5, so the weather looks absolutely so much better than that FS Real program that I was using before. So, you know, this is, oh, I love this. I love the 777. But what I have here, for me, is just so much better, and I like it. So one of the things that I was mentioning in the other live stream, things that I'm learning about real life stuff and learning the ins and outs of the PMDG, is what I did just now is the speed intervention button. So so basically it had me locked at Mach 0.74, and I know that's probably because of my cost index. Delta uses cost index 13, and I'll probably change that. Oh, and I found a really good website. So if you fly for other airlines, or you fly another airline's flights, and you go into the FMC, and you're doing the whole where is that? The God, where is it? Index, the cost index. When you're in the FMC and you're doing your stuff and you put the cost index, there's a website that has all of the cost indexes for just about every airline on the planet. And the cost index is a series of calculations that are done and then programmed into the FMC that causes the plane to utilize resources a certain way. Delta uses a cost index of 13. So that's what I have in here. So I'm not sure that I like it because it will limit your cruise speed, and that's what the speed intervention button is for. That overrides what is programmed into the FMS by design with the cost index. And also, speed intervention works out perfectly when you're like in an event or you're in airspace where there's a lot of traffic and ATC goes, oh, Delta 559, what's your Mach number? And it's like, oh, I'm, Mach point blah, blah, blah. And they say reduce to Mach 0.76 for spacing. So you can go in, hit your speed intervention button, dial in your speed, and it doesn't affect your LNAV and VNAV. You're just overriding the cost index or whatever other factors you have programmed in. Also, you've got altitude intervention, which kind of works the same way except for altitude. So I'm kind of learning these things as I go along. But I'm really loving the PMDG, and yes, I am very happy. Christian says that he prefers prepared, but when he wants to chill, yes, the weather engine, I will say the weather engine in Flight Simulator 2020 is just awesome, outstanding, crazy. I've watched enough live streams to watch the weather, and it's just nuts. But I tried flying with, I tried twice. The first time that I had Microsoft Flight Simulator, I had a shit gaming computer that turned out to be a lemon that I got rid of, got my money back, and then got the one that I got what? Oh, yeah. Oh, guess what? What? Tell me. What's up? Oh, dude, sweet. That is awesome. I know you mentioned that. I think you mentioned that the last time I was on a longer live stream. I don't remember if you told me which. Are you gonna be a airport or what are you gonna? What type of control are you going to be doing? Ground, tower? When you said guess what earlier, I thought that was what you were going to say because I know you had mentioned that before. Oh, okay. Hey, everybody starts at the bottom and works their way up. That is absolutely for sure. Well, dude, that is awesome. What airport are you going to be doing your controlling at? Oh, sweet. San Diego is a good airport. I haven't flown into San Diego yet in Prepared. I used to fly into San Diego all the time on FSX. It's my second favorite West Coast airport next to LA. Have I been to San Luis Obispo? I've heard of it, but have not been there. Data link config invalid for getting cruise winds. Ah, well. Oh, sweet, man. Yeah, get a couple of airports under your belt and the whole 9 yards. That will be pretty awesome. All right, well, we made it farther in this live stream than we did the last one where I screwed the pooch. Yeah, that is what Owls was flying in his live stream earlier, was the Boris CRJ. And when I almost rage quit earlier after screwing up the live stream, I was going to just sit down and just watch him for a little while. And he said that he was he said that he was doing it. I'll have to watch the replay later on. Dudes, I love you all. I've picked up 4 subscribers in the last hour or so. Thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart. I love the support. Let's get to 1,000 now so I can monetize. Just kidding. Good things come to those who wait. But oh God, what the heck was I just? I was just saying something a second ago, and I totally brain farted out. Well, we do have a nice tailwind, 22. Coming from 229, heading at 48 knot tailwind, which is nice. Yeah, Owls. He's the guy that I was talking about a little while ago, and I subscribed to his channel and have been on a couple of his live streams, and I also did a group flight with him and a couple of other folks a few weeks back, just for shits, grins, and giggles, because I happened to be fooling around up here and was watching his live stream, and then he landed up in, was it Pittsburgh? I forgot where, and we did the trip back from wherever in Pennsylvania, all the way back down into Naples. Flow ride. Was it Harrisburg that we flew out of? I think it was Harrisburg, and then we flew back into. It was Harrisburg to Fort Myers, and we did a four ship group flight. Which was really nice. Oh, Salt Lake Center is dropped online. But we had a lot of fun, and he's a senior in high school. If you did not know that. .120.2. 7.5. And there's Salt Lake Center, believe it or not.
Flight level 370.
Total 1932, Salt Lake Center, roger. Shuttle 1932 Squawk 7444.
744444444. Salt Lake Center, good evening, Delta 559, flight level 330.
Shuttle 559, Salt Lake Center, over.
Finally got some ATC. And looks like Minneapolis is still online because it looks like they had an event going in there tonight. So
409, Salt Lake Center, Roger.
We might come in on the very tail end of that. We'll see. But anyways, back to Owls. Very nice kid, great demeanor, very friendly.
Good evening, United 2662, flight level 360.
And enjoy watching his content. And he flies around on a whole big variety of different airlines, from Delta to
2078, Salt Lake City Center, Roger. Descend by the Spud 4,
Allegiant to JetBlue,
74, more than 1 hour old.
And people who have known me long enough know that I'm mainly Delta because I live in Atlanta, and that is the hometown airline for us. And if you look back at the entire history
Salt Lake City Center,
of
United
things,
350.
United 930,
Delta is the only airline that I have flown with. Technically, in a way. So when I was a wee young child living in a little town called Traverse City, Michigan, which is where I was born, KTVC, my parents would fly us as a family. It was me, my sister, who was an infant at the time. I was probably about 3 years old. And we flew on North Central Convair 580s from Traverse City to Cleveland and back. And those of you familiar with airline history, North Central Airlines got merged into Republic, which got merged into Northwest, which got merged into Delta. So the only airline that I've ever really flown is technically Delta. Never flown American, never flown Southwest, JetBlue, United,
2078,
or United, as I like to call them. I've always been a Delta.
More than 1 hour.
Always been a Delta person. But yes, I do have trading cards. And I also have a Etsy page where I sell airline memorabilia. I have some really old North Central Airlines stuff and a few Delta trinkets from back in the day as well. So
Horizon 2078, I just want to make sure you got it. Descend by the Spud 4 arrival.
So let's talk about affinity masks for a second.
Thank you.
So affinity masks tell the CPU through the prepared config file, tells it which cores and threads to use to optimize your CPU usage. So all of you folks who know me know that for quite a while I was having issues with
Delta 955, contact Oakland Center 132.2.
I was having issues with my CPU utilization maxing out at 100%, and in quite a few instances freezing
Southwest
the flight
4295, City Center, runway 10
the flight
left,
simulator
clear for takeoff.
dead in its tracks from anywhere from 5 to 20 seconds.
Roger, thank you.
So, oh, I'm amazed by him too.
10.2 with you, flight level 340.
So through,
Delta 1022, Salt Lake City Center, roger.
so while looking around and researching things, I came upon these things called affinity masks. And what you do is you look up, so my particular processor has 12 cores and 20 processors, or 20 logical processors. And there's a website, if I can find it real quick. I thought I had it saved. Here we go. And I just noticed that in the title for the YouTube video, I put prepared version 5.4 when it's 5.3. How stupid of me. So, there's a thing called, ta-da, the affinity calculator. And what you do is you can go into your task manager, go into your performance, look at your CPU information, and you look and you enter the number of cores you have on your CPU. I have 12 cores and 20 logical processors, and you start building your affinity mask. And then this is the guide that you use, and you basically go through.
4295, radar contacts, altitude.
Passing 4,000
And they recommend that
4295, turn right, direct high vol, climb and maintain
you leave core 0
16,000 direct high vol, Southwest 4295.
open, not being used by anything, and you just basically set up your different things, and you can they have presets if you want to use a preset, and this is what it looks like when you're done. And then you go down here, and then you have to take this,
flight level 175, we'd like
copy
to
it,
pick up VFR flight follow.
and you paste that into your
November 747 Kilo Charlie, Salt Lake City Center, ident.
you paste it into the very first 5 lines of your config file. So my affinity mask, this is what it's set for. And ever since I did that,
November 747
I have
Kilo
had
Charlie, radar contact
no
33
CPU
miles
spiking
north of Eli.
above
The Eli altimeter
30%.
is,
I've not maxed out, the CPU is not maxed out to 100% in nearly 2 weeks. Hey Elliot, good evening. So ever since I set up that affinity mask and put it into the config file, I have no longer had any issues with the CPU jacking up to 100%
Information Bravo
and freezing
Jackson and Ogden.
the flight sim. So that's really cool.
Not current at Salt Lake City.
And then let's see, you were asking about the cost index. Let me look up the website for the cost index, and I will
Southwest 4595, correction, Southwest 4295, climb and maintain flight level 3.
Hey, VA. Good evening, sir.
60, Southwest 4295.
Okay, it is HTTP. I'm going to throw it into chat here real quick.
Salt Lake Center, Northwest 1 on the ground, Salt Lake, unable to contact control center.
Alright, roger, stand by.
Where's my colon at? There it is. Colon slash A320 dot next gate dot ch. Okay, that's the link. Well, that's weird because I'm looking at it right now. A3. Oh. Sorry about that. I put the wrong. It's wrong.
Alright, whoever was calling on the ground Salt Lake just closed, so I'm now working Salt Lake. Well, who was calling with the request?
It's
Salt Lake Center, Northwest 1, Zulu Echo Golf 1 on there in Salt Lake. Sorry, correction, open position on hotel for
Northern Lights 1, Salt Lake City Center, runway 16, left taxi by hotel.
hotel. Salt Lake Center, Delta 2462, on the ground, Salt Lake looking for taxi.
dot n gate dot ch. Make sure I've got that right. Okay.
Delta
It's
2462, Salt Lake City Center, runway
http://
16 left, follow the 737 on hotel,
A320
crossing to the
dot
right to left.
nextgate dot ch. That is the. There we go, and that will pull up a.
Center, Southwest,
That will pull up a 15-page.
Push on start, gate 25.
Southwest 221, that's after this crossing, just call me ready for taxi.
Call you ready, Slayer, Southwest 221.
Let me see here.
Information
It's,
Quebec, now current Salt Lake City. Delta 1022, Salt Lake City landing south, cross Spain at and maintain flight level 1900.
That's the website,
Landing
and
south,
I
cross
can't believe I'm
Spain,
still not
190,
getting this
Delta
right, but Elliot and VA, how are you guys doing tonight? Co-op Owls is still online doing his.
Horizon 2078, expect vectors, visual runway 10 right approach, information Bravo's current, the Boise altimeter 2972.
All right, let's see if this works. There we go. That should be the correct.
Southwest 540, Salt Lake City Center, roger. Salt Lake City is landing south. Clear to the Salt Lake City International Airport. Fire present position. Direct Bryce Canyon, Bravo, Charlie, Echo. Then the Delta 6 arrival.
Salt Lake City is landing south. Direct to Bryce Canyon, Bravo, Charlie, Echo. Delta 6 arrival, Southwest 540.
Southwest 540, read back correct.
Click on the very last. Don't click those other two links. Click the one that I literally just did. I got it up just fine.
Southwest 540, what altitude are you climbing to?
3600, 36, flight level 330.
Roger.
But I'm pulling it up just fine, but yeah, it's literally 15 pages of different airlines and all the cost indexes that are up. So like if you here, give me, I'll redo Delta. So they have a cost index for every aircraft. Okay, so you fly American. Okay, so they have cost indexes for flight durations of less than 4 hours or more than 4 hours. So for example, if you're in an MD-80, the cost index is 24. If it's an A320 family aircraft, it's 27. 737s are 35, 757s are 80, 76s are 65, 777s are a cost index of 85, and the 777-300 is a cost index of 90. And then the cost index is different for flights of duration of 4 hours or more. Then for Delta, it varies. For the 73s, it's 13.
540, cross jamming at and
747s, when they still flew them, the cost index is 100. 757s are 55.
Repeat altitude, please. Southwest 540.
764s and 763s and 762s. The 2s they don't fly anymore, but for the 3s and 4s,
the Salt Lake City altimeter 2986.
it depends on if you're doing economy cruise or SL1 or OT1, and it's different. So 763 economy cruise is 94, SL1 is 63, OT1 is 377.
Runway 16 left, taxi via.
It's not been updated in a while because it does not have any of the Airbus aircraft. I don't know. He doesn't have the CRJs in here, so I would have to probably go look elsewhere. And I just noticed that it only has the Boeing aircraft. It doesn't have the Airbus.
Runway 16 left, clear for takeoff.
But for American, it had the cost index value for the A320 family, which would include 320s, 321s, and Neos. But I know it's fine. I just hate that I give you information and then it's either not accurate or hasn't been updated and God only knows how long. But you know, I'm going to play around with the cost indexes and
Roger, you can start that turn to 290.
just play around and see which ones work best for me.
Speed and turning 290. Come on,
There's a lot of misinformation, misfits out there. I hope this fuel thing is accurate because I really hope that this fuel value is accurate because I'm going by what SimBrief gave me.
Speed and climb and maintain level 230.
I hate to get into Minneapolis and because we're only 1/3 of the way there.
2462 radar contact, say altitude.
6,000 passengers, plus 26.
Hello, Tony 462, traffic at your 11 o'clock, moving to your 12 o'clock. 3 miles northwestbound 737 out of 10,000.
And Salt Lake Center, we've got the traffic over 2462.
I'm sorry, did you say you have the traffic inside?
Yep, we've got the traffic.
You finally airborne?
DL2462, roger. Maintain visual separation, climb and maintain flight level 230, resume normal speed, turn right, heading 340.
Right 340, maintain visual separation.
Oh, oh, there you are. I found you. You're heading up to JFK.
DL2462, climb and maintain flight level 230.
Yeah, I'm doing Mach 0.80, so I had to speed intervention because it was Mach 0.75, so welcome back, VA. Yeah, you'll eventually probably, because you're technically going 1 knot slower than me, but 2,000 feet higher, so you'll overtake me at some point.
So the 1022 descend via the Lehigh 5 arrival. Expect vectors ILS runway 16 right approach. Salt Lake City altimeter 2986. Information Quebec current.
Descend via Lehigh 5, and we'll get Quebec. 1013.
Also 2462 direct Bubby.
Direct Bubby 2462.
So if I go to an outside view with chase plane, it will eventually
Northern Lights 1 climb and maintain.
it eventually switches to a different view, which is really cool. All right, Nep, we'll see you back in just a second.
Horizon 2078, descend and maintain 5,000 airport edge. You're 2 to 3 o'clock and 5 miles reported in sight.
Salt Lake Southwest 221, holding short, 16 left.
Southwest 221, flighting 280, runway 16 left for the takeoff.
Heading 280, clip takeoff, runway 16 left, Southwest 221.
Horizon 2078, cleared visual approach, runway 10 right. Delta 2462, climb and maintain flight level 330. 330, 2462.
Kind of like that view right there. I absolutely love it too, and
Delta 1932, contact Minneapolis Center 122.4.
I got it 3 days ago, and
Delta 1932, contact Minneapolis
I
Center
like how it
133.4.
automatically programs presets for the aircraft that you're flying, and then you can customize those. And change the views to how you want them, and then all that. So
Southwest 221, radar contact to altitude.
I did my own views.
400, climbing 9,000.
So this is my
turn right direct Bubby, resume normal speed.
this is my captain's view. Then I've got my MCP, then my FMC,
Southwest 221 direct
overhead upper, overhead mid panel, overhead lower panel, because I like to kind of, it's hard to see when it's all zoomed out like that. Then I've got
Horizon
the
2078,
center
runway
pedestal
10 right,
setup,
gonna land.
the throttle, so I can also look at the engine gauge. Then I've got the jump seat view, the captain's electronic flight book that I will probably never ever use. And then just this one is just for the lighting. And then I've got a co-pilot view. And that's it. And then back over to the captain's. So that's how I have all my stuff set up on that. And then for my outside views, I've got my spot view, left profile, right over wing, left over wing, right engine,
November 474
left
Kilo Charlie,
engine,
what's your destination?
right wing aft, left wing aft, tail camera, and a shot from the nose. So those are my outside views. So I like it. And because so then what I did was, so depending on which PMDG 737 I'm flying, if it's the 738 or the 9, I exported my views out and then imported them into the other aircraft.
Ready for taxi.
And got them all set up. So what's everybody got planned for the weekend?
Charlie 8 Squawk 5571. Southwest 221, climb and maintain flight level 350, Prepar3d.
Second, sorry.
Southwest 221, climb and maintain flight level 350, Prepar3d.
Climb 350, direct 30, clear, Southwest 221.
All right, I am going to take a quick
United 2662 for
I've heard of Easy Dock
We're going to extend 2662.
and just never really yeah, I never had a chance to use Easy Dock, but I had a lot of people who, when I was first asking about whether I should choose between X-Plane or Prepared and which version of Prepared to get, whether it was 5 or 6, and overwhelmingly everybody said get version 5. The 6 had just literally had come out. But literally everybody recommended getting Chase Plane. I think one person might have mentioned Easy Dock, and I had to look it up to see what it was. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to excuse myself from the flight deck for a few minutes. Wifey is ready to go to bed, so I need to get her upstairs. Hard dock. That's why I think that's why only one person recommended it out of the couple of dozen who answered my query for recommendations. So anyways, I'm gonna mute the mic. Let me call up the center and get excused for a few minutes. Get my wife put into bed. For those of you who don't know, my wife is disabled, so I'm her caregiver, so I gotta get her upstairs and tucked in, and I will be back just as soon as I can, so y'all hold tight and enjoy the views out the front cockpit. We'll be back here. We'll try to be back here pretty quick.
Delta 1022, reduce speed to 210, descend and maintain 6,000.
210 down 6,000, Delta 1022.
Salt Lake Center, Delta 559 is going to step off the flight deck for about 5 minutes. I'll notify you when I'm back.
Delta 559, roger.
It'll probably be about 10 minutes,
United
but
930, frequency change approved. Your next
we'll be back
frequency
in just a
Minneapolis,
second, guys.
3.4.
Here to come, and Minneapolis, the next 133.4, United 930, have a good one, thanks.
Yeah. Southwest 4295, roger. Southwest 540, descend via the Delta 6 arrival, Salt Lake City information, Quebec's currents, expect ILS runway 16 right approach.
Descend via Delta 6, ILS 16 right approach, Southwest 540.
Salt Lake stepping away for about 2 minutes. Lake Center's back. Delta 1022, 5, or 8 miles from bunker, turn right heading 130, maintain 7,000, correction 6,000 till subsonal localizer, clear ILS runway 16 right approach.
Say again, the heading for Delta 1022?
Delta 1022, turn right heading 130.
Right, 130, descend and maintain 6,000, cleared, ILS 16 right approach, Delta 1022.
United 1522, Salt Lake City Center, roger. Northern Lights 1, frequency change approved, good flight.
Northern Lights 1, thanks for the service, yeah.
Yeah. Southwest 4295, Connect Oakland Center, 132.2. Yeah. Delta 1483, Salt Lake City Center, roger.
Salt Lake City Center, Delta 406 is 40 southeast of Hanksville, level 340.
Delta 406, Salt Lake City Center, roger. November 474 Kilo Charlie, radar services terminated, frequency change approved, squawk and maintain VFR, LA's offline. Lost aircraft calling Salt Lake Center, no modulation.
Alaska 18 Heavy, flight level 350.
Alaska 18, Salt Lake City Center, roger. Shuttle 1022, runway 16 right, clear to land.
16 right, clear to land, Delta 1022.
Shuttle 2462, frequency change approved, good flight.
Already in time, connect, Delta 2462.
Alaska 401, contact, Alaska 409er, contact Seattle Center 124.2.
124.2, Alaska 409.
Alaska 409, I gave you the wrong frequency, I'm sorry, 135.45.
Alright, 135.45, Alaska 409.
Southwest 540, reduce speed to 210, descend and maintain 6,000.
210 down, 6,000, Southwest 540.
Delta 1483, cross jamming at and maintain 17,000. The Salt Lake City altimeter 29086, more than 1 hour old. Delta 1022, welcome to Salt Lake City. Turn left when able to exit the parking on this frequency. Good night. Southwest 540, turn right heading 070, vectors ILS runway 16, right approach.
070 ILS 1, say 16 right approach?
Affirmative.
16 right approach, 540.
Southwest 540, 7 miles from bunker, turn right heading 130, maintain 6,000 until established on the localizer, cleared ILS, runway 16, right approach. Southwest 540, runway 16 right, clear to land. Southwest 221, frequency change approved, good flight.
Southwest 52 on test for the APC.
Salt Lake Center, sorry for the delay. Delta 559's back on the flight deck.
Delta 559, no worries.
All right, nebulation had to go. We'll see you, my friend. You have a great night, and we'll see you on the next live stream. And hello to anybody else who is just joining us. I'm going to assume that
Southwest 540, welcome to Salt Lake City. Taxi to parking via Alpha and Echo on this frequency. Good night.
I'm going to assume that Chase plane has some idle thing where it jumps into maybe, I don't know. I don't know if it does or not. I don't know if did I put an outside view on before I left a few minutes ago, or how did that work? here we go. Okay. Excuse me. I can't see where that's even a thing. Huh.
Salt Lake Center stepping away for 2 minutes.
$133.40.
Salt Lake Center, good night, WestJet 1651, flight will 340.
WestJet 1651, Salt Lake City Center, good evening.
Okay, so we're about 400 miles from our top of descent, and one of the things that I learned playing around is that prior to top of descent, you will need to go over to the MCP and set your altitude for that value that you will be initially descending into. So in this case, Eric X is flight level 240 or above. So we'll put 240 probably when we get about past UFFDA, Uniform Foxtrot,
Delta 1483 information.
Delta
Quebec,
Alpha.
Current descend via the Delta 6 arrival. Expect vectors ILS runway 16 right approach to Salt Lake City altimeter 2986.
And I also forgot you could pull radios up in here too. So there's that. So looking at our charts, coming in on the ILS 30 left, and it's going to be 110.3.
Delta 559, contact Minneapolis Center 133.4.
Over to 33.4 for Delta 559. See ya.
See ya.
Walker 582, wind 0903. Fly runway, left turn on course approved, runway 13 cleared for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 13.
Minneapolis Center, good evening. Delta 559, flight level 330.
Delta 559, Minneapolis Center, good evening.
Good evening. Yes, sir. I thought you had to go.
Delta 2119, I had to look somewhere else. Could you squawk ident again? Delta 2119, radar contact 17 miles northwest of the Rochester VOR at 6,000. Say your altitude. Delta 2119, you're cleared to the Minneapolis airport via radar vectors, maintain 7,000. Delta 2119, are you able to proceed direct to the airport? Also at Delta 2119, squawk 5201. United 2085, Denver's offline, radar service terminated, frequency change approved.
So Seattle Center finally
3911, roger. United
comes online.
2085, are you there?
Christian is slowly catching up. He's about closed our distance by halfway from when he departed out of Portland. Technically, he's still faster, even though he's got a slower indicated airspeed, because he's still 2,000 above me, so he can take advantage of any higher winds.
Minneapolis Airport.
And we still have a nice tailwind pushing us, so things are looking nice. We're still pushing a ground speed of 534 knots.
United 2480, descend via the Killer 3 arrival, runway 30 left transition to Minneapolis altimeter 3030. Delta 1393, contact Chicago Center 120.35.
Yeah, we're cruising along at about 614 miles an hour.
United 965, say Mach number. United 965, say Mach number. United 965, yeah, you're going a lot faster than the other guy. He had a huge head start. How about Mach 0.77? Yeah, 2615 contact.
Is that one of the other mistakes that I made on the first live stream earlier in the evening? was that I accidentally put in the parameters for the 737-800 and not the 900, which gave me
climb maintain flight level 430.
which gave me different fuel parameters and some other stuff, and along with that parasitic drag thing that I dicked around with in the configuration file, parentheses, that I will never tinker with again in a PMDG aircraft, close parentheses, kind of caused that screw the pooch moment earlier when we had to shut the live stream off and just, I had to step back and just rethink everything, so.
Yeah, it'll have a 5 on your radio, but you don't have to say it.
So anyways, back to what I was saying a little bit ago. So if we pull up the flight display, and I got to reset my windows here.
Citation 1 Alpha Papa, climb maintain flight level 300.
The way that I want them. So here's our flight path, and I've got it zoomed out to 40 nautical miles, so 20 is the halfway point, 40 is up here. So JELRO is the next waypoint in our flight plan. So as we get closer to our top of descent and the first waypoint on the arrival shows up, you'll see the altitude restrictions that you need to adhere to on the way down. So as I was saying a second ago, so Eric X will be the first waypoint. UFFDA is the start of the
contact Chicago
of the arrival.
120.35.
Eric X is the second waypoint on the arrival, but has the first restriction. It's 280 knots at flight level 240. So somewhere in that 38.9 nautical miles between UFFDA and Eric X,
1932, descend via the Bainey 3 arrival.
I'll need to go into the MCP, over to the altitude, and then adjust the altitude down to 240 to make sure that I hit that altitude constraint.
Delta 1932, Roger. The
which is something that
I don't think it's updated yet.
Done in real life.
Should be updating soon.
And I just never knew that because the Smith's FMS that I use in my other aircraft doesn't have that. You hit your top of descent and it just automatically drops to where you're going. In real life, apparently, for this aircraft, that's not how it works. So you have to manually put that in there.
Minneapolis Center, FedEx.
And Salt Lake went offline.
FedEx 1527, go ahead.
Nice to have had them.
27. Just going to see if I could have 5-10 minutes off brief real quick.
FedEx 1527, that's approved.
Minneapolis Center, United 930 Heavy, it's with you 370.
Head 2 at once. Who's the Delta calling?
Wasn't me.
Delta 2571, contact Minneapolis approach 135.47. Delta 1898, yep.
So I figured before too long,
Delta 1898, tried you once, didn't get anything
I'll be able
back.
to do my checklist without
30 right transition, Minneapolis altimeter 3032.
Without having to look at the actual checklist, although I'm still gonna laminate it. So
Delta 1932, the updated altimeter for Minneapolis 3032.
3032 is the 1932.
Minneapolis Center, United 930 Heavy, with you 370.
So I do need to make one modification to my...
United 930, Minneapolis Center, squawk 2216.
2216,
Thing.
930.
Minneapolis Center, FedEx 1527 at flight level 360.
Delta 1527, you're just reporting back, right?
Copy, just reporting back.
Roger.
So this is the checklist that I made for my reference. And I need to go down to the pushback.
United 222, Denver's offline, radar service terminated, frequency change approved.
I don't know, hold on.
Oh, frequency speed.
Minneapolis Center, FedEx 1527 with request.
FedEx 1527, go ahead.
Let me have a look at this real
FedEx
quick.
1527, seeing if I can go direct Gutty.
Okay. Main panel, center pedestal, auto brakes, parking brake, comm nav, transponder, pre-flight checklist, oxygen nav, transfer display, window heat, pressurization, flight instruments, parking brake set, engine start levers, pushback and engine start.
Mini Center, FedEx 1412.
Okay, flight deck.
I'm getting a lot of turbulence here.
Doors, windows closed, locked. Air conditioning packs
FedEx
off.
1412, climb and maintain flight level 380.
380, 1412, thank you.
APU on.
United 930, radar contact 34 miles northeast of DePreville. Altitude indicates flight level 370. Good evening.
APU generator on. APU bleed. Anti-collision light. Should be anti-collision lights.
Delta 1898, you were cleared to descend via the muffle 3 arrival.
Center Shadow 69, flight level 370.
Shadow 69 or Minneapolis Center, squawk ident. Shadow 69er, radar contact 33 miles northwest of O'Neill, flight level 370.
Yeah. I don't like that. I'll just stay with the...
Delta 2697, Minneapolis Center, squawk ident.
Save that. I'll reprint it back off later on. But anyways, that's my checklist. The PMDG checklist that I found was nearly 8 pages.
Delta 2697.
And a lot of it just kind of explanations and stuff like that. So I whittled it down to 4 pages.
Flight level 360. Good evening.
Just for my reference and to make it easier for me.
Contact Minneapolis approach 135.
So that's my checklist.
United 3911, Denver's offline, radar service terminated, frequency change approved.
Okay, United City 911. See ya.
Mini Center, FedEx 1527. I'm running into that same turbulence. Can I get up to flight level 380?
FedEx 1527, climb and maintain flight level 380.
Climb maintain 380, FedEx 1527.
Delta 778, Denver's offline, radar service terminated, frequency change approved.
Changing to vehicle, thank you very much for your using track, Delta 778.
And so far, once again, as I explained earlier, doing the affinity masks, I've had no CPU spiking whatsoever. The
2085
temperatures for the CPU are, well, kind of in the 60s, and which is fine. 45 for the GPU, which is just fine with me, and just really chase plane, active sky, SPAD next for the controls. This is part of GSX. That's my ACARS, OBS, MSI Afterburner, SimLink, which talks to Navigraph Charts, and then Task Manager, and then I've got my 8 terabyte external drive hooked up there, and that's really everything running in the background.
American 1998, contact Chicago Center 120.35.
Over to Chicago Center 120.35. Have a good night. American 1998.
Still keeping an eye on, see how our fuel is doing. So 26.1% on the fuel. I think we're still looking really good. So we'll see what we have in fuel at the end of the ground and see how that all translates out later, and then I'll just make any adjustments that I need to make. In the later now. Somebody got the Freedom 1 livery for Southwest. I'm assuming that's in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 as well. So.
Citation 7 Foxtrot Papa, Minneapolis Center, climb and maintain flight level 350.
Owls is still he's already done with his live stream, so he ended his a little while ago, nearly 6 hours.
Delta 1932, contact Minneapolis approach 135.47.
3547, 1932, good night.
So the other really cool thing about Chase Plane is I have all my different panel views set up in series on a button assignment on my Yoke. So if I want to go to my MCP view and change something in there, I do that and then hit the same button again. It switches back to the FMC, or not the FMC, but to the captain's view. And if I want to go down to the FMC, it's right there, and then I just click back up and go there. And then I have my overhead panels set up the same way. So I've got my upper panel right here, and then I just call it the mid panel, and then the lower part of the panel, which is just mainly the lights and all that stuff. So, and then just back over to the captain's view.
Minneapolis, good evening, Delta 1208, 13,400, climbing 17,000, direct hold.
Delta 1208, Minneapolis Center, good evening, climb and maintain flight level 350.
Climb flight level 350, Delta 1208.
Minneapolis Center, Southwest 5299, this is flight level area Texas 16,000, climbing 22,000.
Southwest 6299, Minneapolis Center, good evening. Climb and maintain flight level 400.
Level 400, Southwest 6299.
Minneapolis Center, Delta 1412, 17, flight number 340.
Delta 1412, Minneapolis Center, good evening. Descend via the Killer 3 arrival, runway 30 left, transition, Minneapolis altimeter 3032.
Descend via the Killer 3 arrival, 30 left, transition, 3032 left,
Alright, getting close enough to Minneapolis to pick up
Minneapolis Center, good evening.
the ATIS.
622, we can remember, flight level 325 for 300.
Phenom 2 Victor November, Minneapolis Center, good evening.
Alright, Minneapolis arrival information, India. Winds 310 at 8 knots, 10 miles visibility, clear. Temperature 4, dew point 11, altimeter 3032.
Delta 1412, say current Mach number.
Mach 0.79,
Roger. And Phenom 2 Victor November, did you want to go faster?
Oh yeah, we can go faster.
Phenom 2 Victor November, traffic ahead of you is Mach 0.79. You do not exceed Mach 0.78.
Alright, we certainly want to speed 0.78, 622, Victor November.
Information India is current for
Phenom 2
Minneapolis.
Victor November, what's your normal Mach number at cruise there?
About 0.67, 0.68.
Phenom 2 Victor November. Okay, then disregard that entirely and just resume normal speed.
I resume normal speed, 62 Victor November.
Minneapolis Center, Southwest 5299. Can we amend our cruising altitude to flight level 380?
Southwest 6299, climb and maintain flight level 380.
380 for 6299, thank you.
Delta 1898, contact Minneapolis approach 135.47, we'll see you.
13547. Thanks a lot. I'll be doing good feedback on you. I always do. You're the best. Sorry about missing that call earlier. Have a good day.
No worries, we'll see you next time.
Minneapolis Center, November 566.7 south.
Citation 626 Minneapolis Center.
And going in on the Torquay 3 RNAV arrival.
I'll maintain flight level 310,
This evening. See how accurate things are here. So Eric X280 at 240, Torquay at 13, 11 at Offson. Berkania, Jaden at 250 and 10. Heidi at 9. Mauer at 8. Jenny. And Hasty, Pinky, Pigsy, Abez. Alright, everything checks out. That's the one thing I love about this PMDG FMS is that everything jives pretty well with what's in the all the restrictions, etc., etc. Christian.
Delta 1208, contact Chicago Center 120.35.
2035, Delta 1208.
Hey, Anthony. Yes, I would be happy to share that checklist. I will, when I'm done refining it here in its final form, I'll put it up on... I'll put it up somewhere and I'll post a link to it. And Christian asked me, would any of the controllers be mad if we flew the Concorde over Continental at Mach 2?
Track to St. Cloud. I think I was blocked there. Citation
at 60,000 feet or higher that the Concorde goes, I don't think that they'd be too awfully concerned. I mean, the only aircraft that really go...
Zulu Oscar Hotel Alpha November.
I mean, Southwest routinely flies at 40,000, 41,000, as does Delta with some of their A350s.
And November 811 Kilo Sierra, Minneapolis Center. Good evening. St. Cloud altimeter 3031.
It'd be funny watching it going across the VATSIM map or on VATSpy.
Copy altimeter, just 811 Kilo Sierra. Sorry for stepping on you guys. Didn't hear that.
Nope, you can't hear him because he's too far away. Not a problem.
But yeah, Anthony, I'll
I'm really good at hearing two at once and picking out the one that I want.
Yeah, well, I'm sure there's like more important calls to like listen to and there's two people like talking at once.
That's what I do.
We like it when center is able to prioritize and discern one alpha pop-up.
I didn't realize they simulated it with the volume when the aircraft was farther away from you.
Yep, that's simulated.
And also at Anthony, I'm still learning my way around the PMDG 737 as well.
Shadow 69er, descend via the Torquay 3 arrival, runway 30 left transition, Minneapolis altimeter 3032.
Via the Torquay 3 arrival, Shadow 69.
Mini Center, good evening, Delta.
I've only had the PMDG for about a week.
Delta 2698, Minneapolis Center, good evening. Phenom 2 Victor, November, descend via the Killer 3 arrival, runway 30 left transition, Minneapolis altimeter 3032.
We'll descend via Killer 3, 30 left transition, 62 Victor November.
Citation 1 Alpha Papa, descend via the Muscle 3 arrival, runway 30 right transition.
Green grass and stuff out on the west coast back to the snow of the Great White North.
September 3032, descend via Muscle 3. We'll notify approach. We'd prefer 30 left for signature parking, and thank you, Waffle Papa.
Yeah, I figure you want that. It's probably not going to be a problem. I just can't promise it right now.
Not the first time I've heard that. One Alpha Papa.
Real world too, I think, yeah.
Mostly.
FedEx 1412, Denver is offline. Radar service terminated. Frequency change approved.
Oh, we got a FedEx 1412 and a Delta 1412.
FedEx 1412, respond.
FedEx 1412, Denver is offline. Radar service terminated. Frequency change approved.
Frequency change approved. See ya.
Southwest 1854, Denver Center is offline. Radar service terminated. Frequency change approved.
Probably need to go on South 1854. Have a good night, sir.
You too. FedEx 1527, Denver is offline. Radar service terminated. Frequency change approved.
Mini Center, Delta 1527, Denver Center offline. You have a good night.
Yeah, getting fairly close to our top of descent, so we'll go ahead and...
33.6 for 3,000.
Okay, pressurization is checked. Let me double check the altitude in Minneapolis.
2885, Minneapolis Center. I really hope that you meant flight level 300.
Yes, sir. It was 33.6 for...
Landing altitude 800 feet.
Okay.
Check. ATIS weather and information check. Landing altitude has been verified. Landing data. Okay, flap VREF speeds. Be a flaps 30 landing, so airspeed will be 144. ILS frequency is set, auto brake is set, radio barometer minimums.
Delta 1412, contact Minneapolis approach 135.47. I'll see you.
3547, good night, Delta 1412.
.810 feet set. Nav radios and MPC. Are set.
Minneapolis, United 1014, we can just 300.
United 1014, Minneapolis Center. Good evening. Citation 626, contact Chicago Center 120.35.
Okay, over to Chicago Center 120.35. We'll see you.
American 2363, Denver Center is offline. Radar service terminated. Frequency change approved.
Air Canada 1230, flight level 170.
Air Canada 1230, Minneapolis Center. You want to try that altitude again? In the meantime, climb and maintain flight level 310.
Climb and maintain 310, Air Canada 1230.
Air Canada 1230, how about the altitude again?
Sorry about that, climbing to 310 now.
What was your current altitude? Just what's your current altitude now? It wasn't correct what you said.
Current altitude is 17,500. Sorry about that. We had an autopilot disconnect and it pulled us up for a minute. Sorry about that.
Roger. If you do that, just say the actual altitude, even if you busted it. That's better than not telling me the correct altitude.
Why do we have an engine failure? What happened here? I didn't tell it to do an engine failure.
And Minneapolis Center with you, altitude 13,500, proceeding direct Doctor.
Last aircraft calling. Good check-in, except for one thing. You didn't say your call sign.
American 231, sorry about that.
American 231, Minneapolis Center. Good evening. Climb and maintain flight level 310.
Climb maintain flight level 310, American 231.
Delta 2697, descend via the Muscle 3 arrival, runway 30 right transition, Minneapolis altimeter 3032.
Descend via the Muscle 3 arrival, runway 30 right transition, altimeter 3032, Delta 2697.
Southwest 2885, descend via the Killer 3 arrival, runway 30 left transition, Minneapolis altimeter 3032.
Alright, descend via the Killer 3 arrival for 30 left for 2885.
Shadow 69er, contact Minneapolis approach 135.47.
3547, Shadow 69, nice work, thanks for the help tonight.
We'll see ya. Delta 559, descend via the Torquay 3 arrival, runway 30 left transition, Minneapolis altimeter 3032.
All right. Descend via the Torquay 3, 30 left transition, altimeter 3032, and I have India for Delta 559.
Delta 559, roger. The approach is when you give the ATIS. I don't really worry about it.
Okay, I've got to pause this.
Approach 135.47. We'll see you.
Okay, why do I have? Why all of a sudden do I have an?
2 Victor November.
Why do I have an engine failure?
No, we're still waiting on that descent clearance for 2698.
Delta 2698. I thought I did. Might have been at the beginning. Might have missed it. Sorry about that. Descend via the Killer 3 arrival, runway 30 left transition, Minneapolis altimeter 3032.
Descend via the Killer 3, 30 left transition, Delta 2698.
Center citation 7 Charlie X-ray 36.3 for level 300. Citation 7 Charlie X-ray, Minneapolis Center.
Okay.
Good evening.
Center, citation 2 Golf Lima,
FMC.
Citation 2 Golf Lima, Minneapolis Center.
Setup. aircraft failures. All systems maintenance, service all, execute, clear all, execute. Minneapolis Center from Delta 559. I'm going to have to disconnect off of the VATSIM network for a second to diagnose a computer issue, but I'll try to be back in a second.
Sweet. Delta 559, roger.
All right. All right. I have to disconnect. All right. What in the world is going on? I don't understand. Why would I have an engine failure and I did not tell? Okay, turn off. Turn off random failures. Failure all systems maintenance. How to permanently disable failures. Okay, menu, PMDG setup, aircraft, failures. Active. Active, clear all. Indicates none. And then, okay, then FMC, okay, PMDG, options, simulation, service-based failures, off. Okay, so why did I have a engine failure? Okay, guys, any idea why I might have had a random engine failure? Here. Okay, fuel quantity is low. Ah, okay. Does that mean that I should have... crossfed. There we go. Okay. Alright, we got that figured out. Okay, never gonna damn do that again. Jesus Christmas. Alright, I think we're back.
Air Canada 1230, contact Chicago Center 120.35.
Contact Chicago Center 120.35, Air Canada 1230. Thanks very much for your help.
DAL559, Minneapolis Center, welcome back. Radar contact.
Thank you very much. And descending on the Torgy 3.
Roger.
Alaska 18 Heavy is going to be stepping away from the flight deck for about 15 minutes.
Citation 7 Foxtrot Papa, roger. We'll see you later, thanks. Alaska 18, roger, that's approved. Southwest 2885, contact Minneapolis approach 135.47.
Approach 3547 for 2885, we'll see you.
Probably not going to cross, Torgy at 13,000.
Minneapolis Center, Citation 7, Charlie X-ray, need HSR at the airport.
citation 7 Charlie X-ray. That's approved. Proceed direct St. Paul Airport, descend and maintain 8,000.
8,000 direct to the airport. Thank you so much. 7 Charlie X-ray.
Air Canada 1230, you still with me? Delta 559, contact Minneapolis approach 135.47.
3547 for Delta 559. See ya.
Southwest 6299, Denver is offline. Radar service terminated. Frequency change approved.
Frequency change approved. Have a good night. Southwest 6299.
Set 4, Southwest 2785. Thanks for the ATC. We'll see you.
Southwest 2885, proceed direct ABES, cross ABES at or above 4,000 at ABES, cleared ILS runway 30 left approach.
Direct ABES, cross ABES at 4,000, clear for the ILS 30 approach to 885.
Shadow 69, contact tower 126.7, good night.
26.7, have a good night, thanks for the help.
Minneapolis approach, Delta 559 with you on the Torgi 3 with information India.
Delta 559, Minneapolis approach. Good evening. Expect the ILS runway 30 left, turn right, heading 100, descend and maintain 8,000.
Expect 30 left, right turn 100, and descend to 8,000.
Minneapolis approach, Delta 2697, descending via the Muscle 3, arrival 10,800, 30 right, transition with information, India.
Delta 2697, Minneapolis approach, good evening, expect the ILS runway 30 right approach.
ILS 30 right for Delta 2697.
November 1 Alpha Papa, contact Minneapolis Tower 126.7, good night.
126.7, good night, 1 Alpha Papa, thank you.
Alright, remember to turn on the cross feed. Another mental note.
2697, proceed direct FAMS, cross FAMS at or above 4,000 at FAMS, cleared ILS runway 30 right approach.
Alright, clear direct FAMS, cross FAMS at or above 4,000 at FAMS, cleared ILS 30 right approach, 2697.
Minneapolis approach, United 1014 with you descending, Killer 3 arrival.
United 1014, Minneapolis approach, Minneapolis number 3032, information, India current advising you have India, expect the ILS from 30 left approach.
26.7 for the tower. Christian, I am sorry I didn't get back with you. Yeah, I would give them a call.
Yeah, 1014, Roger, request the Alice runway 30 left.
30 left for 1014.
If you're still watching, sorry about that. I learned something new. Huh.
Minneapolis citation 7 Charlie X-ray 13.5 for 8,000. We have the weather at St. Paul. Request official approach.
November 7 Charlie X-ray Minneapolis approach. Good evening. Roger, you can expect that. Minneapolis number 3032.
3032 7 Charlie X-ray.
Yeah, 1014, proceed direct ABES, cross ABES at or above 4,000 at ABES, cleared ILS, runway 30 left approach.
Direct ABES at ABES, cross 4,000 and speed on ILS.
That's 2698, contact Minneapolis Tower 126.7, good night.
Over to Tower, Del 2698, good night.
Southwest 2885, maintain 230 knots or greater until advised.
230 or greater for 2885.
South 2697, reduce speed, maintain 230 knots. November 7 Charlie X-ray, flight heading 270, descend and maintain 4,000.
270, 4,000, 7 Charlie X-ray.
Okay, pressurization checked, recall checked, landing data, we have our review reps, our tender set to local.
6 arrival, request the ILS 2032.
Division 2, Gulf Lima, Minneapolis approach. Say again your approach request.
Gulf Lima would like the ILS runway 32.
Division 2, Gulf Lima, Roger, you can expect that.
Gulf Lima, sorry, that was broken.
Remember 2, Gulf Lima, Roger, you can expect the ILS runway 32 approach at St. Paul.
Roger, let's expect the ILS runway 32. Gulf Lima.
Remember, correction, Delta 559, descend and maintain 5,000.
Through 10 for 5,000, Delta 559.
Southwest 2885, maintain 170 knots or greater to 5 mile final.
Alright, 2885, 170 or greater to the 5 mile final, 285.
Delta 2697, speed your discretion.
Speed your discretion.
And 1014, maintain 190 knots or greater to ABES.
190.
1,000 to go.
Over 2 Gulf Lima, turn left heading 230, descend and maintain 4,000.
Left heading 230, that is 4,000, runway.
Delta 2885, contact Minneapolis Tower 126.7, good night.
126.7 for 2885, we'll see.
Delta 2697, contact Minneapolis Tower 126.7, good night.
Tower 126.7, have a good night, Delta 2697.
Delta 559, turn left heading 030.
Left 030, Delta 559.
Charlie X-ray, field and flight cancel.
Over 7 Charlie X-ray, roger. IFR cancellation received 0501 in the quarter Zulu. No traffic observed between you and the St. Paul downtown airport. Ready service terminated, for use and change approved. Have a good night.
I'll take a 7 Charlie X-ray.
Delta 559, turn left, direct ABES, cross ABES at or above 4,000 at ABES, cleared ILS runway 30 left approach.
Alright, turn left, direct ABES, clear for the ILS 30 left approach, Delta 559.
At 1014, contact Minneapolis Tower 126.7, good night.
Over to tower, good night, 1014.
Flaps 1.
Number 2 Golf Lima, flight heading 190.
Heading 190 off limit.
And Minneapolis approach from Delta 559. Did you clear me down to 4,000 for ABAS?
Delta 559, affirm. You're cleared across ABAS at or above 4,000. You're cleared for the ILS runway 30 left approach.
All right. Gotcha. 4,000 above, clear for the ILS 30 left approach, Delta 559. And I've already got the airport in sight.
Over 2 Golf Lima, turn right, direct Kiki.
Right, direct Kiki, 2 Golf Lima.
Delta 559, contact me with tower 126.7. Good night.
Over to tower, Delta 559. See ya. Minneapolis Tower, Delta 559, ABAS 30 left.
Delta 559, Minneapolis Tower, good morning. Wind 3108 at 8, runway 30 left, cleared to land.
30 left, cleared to land, Delta 559.
I like your enthusiasm. I feel like I've kind of run out at this point.
I hear you, man. I'm live streaming, so gotta maintain a positive attitude.
Gotcha. United 1014, welcome Minneapolis. Taxi Alpha Delta to the gate. So long.
Alpha Delta to the gate. United 1014.
Yeah, gonna be a little high, but we should be okay.
Delta 559, welcome to Minneapolis. Exit right when able and stay gate.
Exit right when able and no preference on the gate as long as it's Delta for Delta 559.
Delta 559, exit right, taxi Alpha, and any gate on the left side is going to be a Delta gate.
Exiting off onto Alpha, and any Delta gate on the left is good with me for Delta 559. That could have been better. There we go. That was just a little bit confusing. Alright, what's going on here?
Attention all aircraft, Minneapolis Tower is now closing. Contact Minneapolis Approach 135.47 for services. Thanks very much for flying. See you next time.
Bye.
Good night. Okay. I am not in takeoff configuration. So what could the possible problem be here? Well, that's weird. I can't taxi. Okay, that's just... Hey, how's it going? Do I want a free plane? Depends on what that free plane might be. Oh, my favorite plane is the 777 or the A350. There we go. I'm just gonna warp to a gate here. Because that's really the only thing that I can do here, so... Alright. Parking brake set. On APU power, start switches to cut off. Anti-ice off. Heat off. Fuel pumps off. Crossfeed is closed. Packs on auto, isolation valve open. APU engine bleeds are on. So how do I get this free 777? Alright, fuel pumps off, probe heat off, hydraulics are set, flaps up, parking brake set, engine start levers are to cut off. Shutdown checklist is complete. And that is going to do it for the live stream for tonight. Thank you for staying up late. I really appreciate it. All right, next flight's going to be back home. And that's going to do it for the live stream. Appreciate you hanging out with me tonight at this very late hour. Nearly 1:30 in the morning. Hope you enjoyed the live stream. If you did, please hit that like button, support the channel by subscribing. Thank you for the 4 people who subscribed during the course of one botched live stream and the one that actually worked. I really appreciate you. This is Michael with Sky's Limit Aviation Channel. We will see you next time, and we'll try to iron out some more of the bugs that are going on. So have a great night. We'll see ya. Bye.